Good morning. Today is August 29, 2020, and I'm outside. That's Saturday, and I'm outside to take a look at the garden. So let's first check Rutabaga that came back from last year and set seeds. And now I'm seeing some young plants in the garden. So let's take a look at that. And in case you don't know, I like to harvest my own seeds. Let me get these things here in case I need to cut something. I like to harvest my own seeds, so I like to let plants go to seeds. And Rutabaga is in the Brassica family, cabbage. So that's a biennial. I didn't plant it last year, but I planted the year before, and it came back this year and set seed. So that's the plant here, and that's the seed pad. In fact, you can even see some seed in it. So it says seeds in summer, dry, and pretty much I didn't harvest the seeds. I just let them scatter around here, and clearly some of them still have some seeds. So when I see it like this, I'll just go to where I want that to grow, and I'll just scatter there. So I didn't do that this year though. I just let it do its own things. And at one point, it went to the pathway, and I moved it to where I would want the seed to fall. So, and around mid-August, in fact, I will say around the 20th of August, I noticed that I have a plant here growing. And let me bring the camera close. And it's growing right outside of the bed, and that's the pathway pretty much. But I believe I came across one. Maybe it's that one, and I'm thinking about digging it out of there and put it in, but I'm going to leave it here. And I thought I came across another one there as well. But so that's August, and that's a young growth from this year, and that's one of the reasons why I like to plant rutabaga and turnips in summer, because I just like to follow the natural cycle of the plant. So if their seeds dry around July and they fall in the ground and grow back around and start growing back around August, to me, in my zone, that's the right time to plant them if I'm planting from the seeds. So when I originally planted, I planted in July, I believe. And I noticed that there could be some baby plant here as well, and I think they are. So let's take a look at the area here, and don't know if you'll be able to see it, but those are baby plant. In fact, a lot of plant in the Brassica family, when they start growing, you'll see two leaves like this with a dent in the middle of the leaf. But you can see that the shape of the leaf is changing. So we have some young plant here, but it's not all. There is another one here, and there is another one here as well. You can see a baby one there. So whether they all will grow is another story, but because I don't really baby my plants, I just let them do their things, and the strongest survive. So that's how I dealt with the plant this year, and I ate the leaves. And you can see that there is still some. I thought birds help the plant scatter the seeds out, but clearly some part have seeds. So what I have done in the past with those type of plants is I will come and I'll cut some stem with a lot of seed pads on them, and then I'll just go around the garden and just crush the seed pads to scatter the seed in the garden to see where it will be favorable for the seed to grow. But clearly this plant didn't lose all its seeds, so that means I had to, if the seed is viable, which I will think it is, I have to scatter them in the garden. And this green is not from Rutabaga. That's still in the same family, but that's more mustard. I think that's called giant mustard. So it's setting seeds, and I planted 3 years ago, 2017, no, 2018. It came back in 2019, and this year as well. So as the same as this Rutabaga, I planted in 2018. It came back in 2019, and this year 2020. So that's Rutabaga, a root vegetables, but the variety that I have, the leaves is edible, and I like to just, yeah, the leaves is edible, and I harvest some leaves for cooking. I don't know if all variety have edible leaves, but mine has edible leaves. I don't recall if I eat this one, but there is another one that I harvest the leaves from, and I think I harvest some from here, but I'm not too sure. I harvest from the turnip plants, but I don't recall if I harvested from this one. But the variety that I have, the leaves are edible. And I don't really like to, when I planted, I was hoping that it will come back in spring and set seeds. So last year it did, and this year one came back, or two came back, and they set seed. So this one in this bed set seed, scattered, and is growing in the garden. So that's Rutabaga right there, that I didn't have to plant myself, but by just letting some roots stay in the ground in spring, in the ground in fall, winter, and mulch them well with fall leaves. They came back this year and set seed. And there is something that I learned when I was trying to harvest my own seed, is in the Brassica family, it's good to have more than one plant so that there is cross-pollination between them to have a viable, strong seeds in your collection. So I have 2 plants of Rutabaga in the garden that I think both of them are Rutabaga. So they, but I mean, if more came back this year, I'll have let them set seed, but that's the survival. So yeah, if you want to harvest seed from your Rutabaga, you can. You just have to remember to mulch it properly. And I didn't do anything special. I just used fall leaf from my front yard to cover the area that is growing, and it came back well in spring. So, and I just let it do its things, go to seeds, flowers, set seeds, and I didn't even have to come and remove the stem to scatter the seed or harvest the seed. I just let it here until most of them fell back, and now they are growing in the garden, and they do well in fall. Like they'll have beautiful leaves that if you want to harvest some for eating, you should. So that's what I wanted to show you in this part of the garden, that my rutabaga, I recorded a video in spring, and when it was like just coming back in spring, and I don't think I recorded a video when it was setting seeds. I'm not sure, but well, the seed fell and now we have young sprouts in the garden. Thank you for watching. I'm Afiavi Ojune Liberman, creators of Liberman Consulting L.L.C YouTube channel, owners of Nina's Soap, the blog, and Nina's Soap, the natural product online store, and liberlabel.com, our custom apparel online store. Thank you.